Isn't he Mexican?
Colombian.
He calls himself American.
What is this?
Anchor Baby.
And in this corner, it's the American Anchor Baby.
Daddy's home.
That's an offensive term. People find that hurtful.
You mean it's not politically correct? Excuse me. I'll use the word anchor baby.
You know, he's an anchor baby in Canada.
Tell him we still rolling with Trump, too.
Anchor baby, the whole thing sounds horrific. You're just making it sound like immigrants are these horrific, greedy people.
Ustedes pueden aceptar mi negocio o aceptar las consecuencias. Plata o plomo.
So you would be considered white, in my opinion.
You the blackest one in this room.
I think so.
And what happened was his mama got pregnant on the other side of the border. And then a few hours before, just before it was time for him to pop out, she jumped across the border and let him fall on America's soil. So he became the anchor baby. They don't call him the anchor baby for nothing. Amazing.
We like this anchor baby, right?
Hello, I'm the American Anchor Baby, and this is my show. Thank you for tuning in. Appreciate that. About to get started here in a moment. Monday show, we're back. American Anchor Baby at 12 in the studio with the mountains behind me. It's American Anchor Baby on Monday. What is up, everybody? I see y'all rolling into the chat. Thank you so much. We're going to get going here in a moment. We got some stuff to get into. What's on my mind today? Trump, Snoop, PSYOPs, calls to hate, and Nazis. We're gonna make sense of everything here. We're gonna make sense of it all. Sense of this Monday morning, and maybe a little bit of sense out of our lives, just a little bit today. We'll be doing all that and taking some calls. 888-775-3773. If you want to jump on the line and call in and talk to the American Anchor Baby. Yes, this is your captain speaking, the American Anchor Baby. At least I was a captain on Friday. We had ourselves a nice flight. If you missed those Friday flights, you don't want to miss them. You want to at least catch it one time at least and see what it's all about. We fly high. We flying high on Fridays and not off pot. But natural energy. I swear. It's a little joke. Jesse Lee Peterson likes to announce my show like that. And I'm on his network, so I'm grateful. JLP had some great shows today. Jesse Lee Peterson and The Hake Report. TheHakeReport.com every day as well. Comes on before me, 9 a.m. We had some good shows today. And we had a good one on Friday, smooth landing in Seattle, I believe. Seattle International Airport had a great landing, had some weather. We flew through some clouds, metaphorically and digitally, literally but digitally. But we had a nice flight on Friday. Everybody joined in for the experience. Luxury flight out of Los Angeles, KLAX. We had ourselves calls and everything. Lovely moments with the passengers and the flight attendants. So don't miss it. Make sure you follow and subscribe here on YouTube. American Anchor Baby on Rumble. And Gorgonzola on Twitter or X.com. And Twitch. That's Gorgonzola like the cheese, but with a H-O-L-A at the end. Gorgonzola, both on Twitch and Twitter. We're going to get some stuff going on Twitch. It's going to be fun. Fully interactive. You're going to want to stay tuned for what's coming there. So, what's up, everybody? Happy Monday. What is even going on, huh? Trump going gun shopping. We got DOJ stuff. All sorts of mess. But I was hit with the Snoop stuff. Some of this Snoop Dogg. Snoop, D-O-double-G. who's an interesting person, a legend, an icon, Snoop Dogg, Calvin 𝒂𝒂𝒎 Jr., known professionally as Snoop Dogg, 51 years old, from Long Beach, California. Apparently, he came out against Trump recently. We all know he's already against Trump. Some videos are going around circulating of Snoop 𝒏𝒊𝒄𝒌𝒔 railing hard against the President Trump. And it's silly. It's like a silly, pathetic old fool. You know, Hassan from Wow Hassan, another host on this network, Wow Hassan on YouTube, called him a cartoon character, which is interesting. I never thought about Snoop Dogg in that way. But think about it. He is the product, a feat of making a person into a cartoon, a logo, an icon. Anywhere he goes, he's not Calvin Broadus. He's Broadus, he's Snoop Dogg. Everywhere he appears, and everyone knows what that means, what Snoop Dogg means and stands for, and the spirit of Snoop Dogg. And he's come out against Trump. We know this already. He's done that on numerous occasions. And how many times have we seen this? Old fools in Hollywood and entertainment ranting and raving about Trump. Now they look like even bigger fools. So apparently a video circulating of him hating on the Trump man, which continues his saga of instances where he's talking against the man, right? September, told anyone who liked Trump is a racist, he says. F you and F Kanye West, too. He got all mad about comments and stuff back in 2018. So this wasn't the DEF CON. This wasn't DEF CON on the Jays, that saga of Kanye. This was just Dragon Energy, Red Hat Kanye West. And he asserted anyone who likes Trump is a racist, using that word. Tells you what kind of person he is. Silly. Truly silly. And easily believes conspiracy theories. Obviously not a trustworthy person. The rapper said Trump drew the lines of division in his role at the White House. He did this video of a mock assassination. You probably remember all this from the Trump years, of which there will be more, right? There's more are coming, more Trump years. But he put out that song, some song back in the day, 2017. It was this artistic expression. And there was basically a Trump character in this music video. And they assassinate him. And this drew some attention and ire from the conservative crowd and calls of whataboutism, they say. They call it whataboutism. But, you know, it's a little true, right? If this was, I think Trump even said, imagine if this was a character of Obama, they would be in jail. And so it's just liberals. It's just liberals making music videos and Trump as a clown being assassinated, and they think it's cute. A little bit on Snoop and his saga, his storied past with the president. And so this tired old act seems to have continued. At least some are saying there's a little bit of a twist here. There's a little bit of a twist here with the Snoop Dogg stuff. We're gonna move a little faster here, but okay. So this is the video I saw. Let me show you the video I saw because there's a couple of layers here to unravel on psyops and quickly believing the media and stuff. Video I saw, the one that's, you know, this almost has like 1 million views. This almost has 1 million views on X.com. Snoop Dogg's latest tirade against the president. Let's watch it. Did this really happen? Okay. Let's watch it.
I just want to say this real quick, not on the political shit. Ain't no fucking way in the world y'all can vote for Donald Trump when he come back up again. If y'all do vote for him, y'all some stupid motherfuckers.
What?
I'm saying that to y'all. And this punk motherfucker don't care.
What was
Don't
that?
vote
Y'all heard that?
for that nigga. Please don't. Look what he do. He just don't give a fuck. Y'all, honest.
Now, they were supposed to bleep that. That was bleeped. That wasn't a really good bleep, though. They could have bleeped that better.
Blue-collar, hard-working people. And
Okay, you heard it that time, right?
suffering. So if he don't care about y'all, he really don't give a fuck about us. So fuck him too. And fuck everybody down with Donald Trump. I said it, yeah, Snoop Dogg. Fuck him. I just...
You guys heard that? I know he's railing against Trump, and there was content to what he's saying here, and we were supposed to be listening, but I don't know about you guys. I was a little distracted. Thank you, Lil Nicky. Thank you, Lil Nick. We'll be back with you later. I was a little distracted by the loud beeps. You guys heard the beeps? Snoop Doggy Dogg seems to have failed the beep test, the dreaded beep test. Many have fallen before him, okay? Many a black celebrity and thought leader has fallen before him. So I don't want to look. We don't need to be that judgmental. But did Snoop Dogg fail the beep test? I'm talking about the smoke alarm beep test. You know, the chirp of a low battery smoke alarm? The racists out here, these racists on the internet, okay? You got to understand how pernicious this is. You got to understand how pernicious these racists on the internet are. Let me tell you something about what these racists on the internet are saying. I wouldn't say something like this. But these racists, what they're saying now is black people, they don't change the batteries to their smoke alarms. And you'll see them, even if they got money, you'll see them flexing, as they say, flossing their various shiny accoutrements of watches and jewelry. And you'll hear a smoke alarm detector chirp in the background.
I just want to say this real quick, not on the political shit. Ain't no fucking way in the world y'all can vote for Donald Trump when he come back up again. If y'all do vote for him, y'all some stupid motherfuckers. I'm saying that to y'all.
So, I was, of course, laughing, LMAOing. They call it LMAOing, and, laughing at this. No way, Snoop failed the beep test. 2.5 million views. But let me tell you guys, sorry, y'all. I don't think he failed the beep test. I don't think that's actually an accurate video. That may be deceptive doctoring of a video, all right? So that was actually some misinformation. In fact, that's an older video. I come to find out that the original video that got some attention, just the other day, had no such beep. It had no such beep. And I'm a little disappointed because that was the whole show. I'm a little disappointed because that was the whole show. And I come to find out now I have no show. No, that was a joke. I still probably have no show, but that was a joke.
I just want to say
and
this.
of course, now that there's no beep, we can now hear him clearly. We're not distracted.
Bro, y'all can vote for Donald Trump when
he said, no, you can't vote for Donald Trump. When he comes up again, you can't vote for him. You guys can't do that. Come on. And I'm like, man, really? This tired old game, this same old song and dance, still at it, Snoop Dogg, 51 years old? Aren't you a little tired? Isn't it time to grow up? Grow up, Snoop. Time to grow up, man. Come on, man. Come on, man. It's time to grow up. But I come to find out that not even that video is real. So I got double hoodwinked. I got Inception hoodwinked on hoodwinked. Russian nesting doll hoodwinked. Because even that video that was shared by Ian Yeager on Twitter to the tune of 2.5 million views. To the tune of 2.5 million views shared by this Ian Yeager person, I don't know who this is, was also false. deceptive in its purpose, its motivation here. As you could see, the original post, the OP here, Ian Yeager posts, Snoop Dogg says you shouldn't vote for Trump again. Thoughts? Shares this video. 2.5 million views, blah, blah, blah. It gets the engagement. It's got the people going. But even this video is deceptive because, yes, that is Snoop Dogg. He's saying that, but this video is slightly edited and taken from a 2019 moment. 2019 moment. We already got the conservatives jumping on the bandwagon here and railing on Snoop Dogg, violating him. Like, the man is getting violated, as they say in New York. As they say in New York, they say they are violating the man, and he is being violated on Twitter, x.com. Oh, no. Oh, no, 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 no. Oh, no, 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 no. No, guys, you guys are jumping in, violating the man already. But all off fake news. All off fake news. Hold up. You guys are posting the pink tutu. I might be violating Snoop Dogg by showing that image. For those who are listening in the podcast, I'm showing people images. The conservatives out here railing against Snoop Dogg's latest, which we now have debunked, latest tirade against Trump. The version of Snoop Dogg's video that is currently being circulated dates back to January 2019. It is also an edited version of what he said at the time. Censor, please. This is not the Hake Report. I maybe should have censored that. The sun is still up. It's like lunchtime for people. The sun is still in the air. It's not next tree. It's nighttime. So I maybe should have censored that. But that's what the people are. That's how the people are violating Snoop Doggy Dogg on the internet. And the conservatives out here, they want to give Snoop Dogg the Bud Light treatment. They're saying time to give him the Bud Light treatment, not the Bud Light treatment. Although I shouldn't give it that voice. Ooh, not the Bud Light treatment, when I think that Bud Light treatment hurt. It definitely hurt Bud Light. They're out here saying, time to give him that Bud Light treatment. And posting the pink tutu over what seems to be misinformation. It's a 5-year-old video, actually. And initially, this video was shared in light of the 2018-2019 government shutdown. In fact, the full video has Snoop Dogg railing against this shutdown and imploring members of the government to not vote for Trump or something like that. That if you do that, you will be some stupid MFers. So don't do it if he comes up again. And this was the 2018-2019 government shutdown, which stretched for 35 days. If you might remember this, some of you might remember this, but this was the longest U.S. shutdown. This was the longest government shutdown in U.S. history, I believe. I could be wrong, but I believe it's the longest one, 35 days over Trump's demands for funding a border wall along the southern border. And so now that you got the bird's eye view in context, it kind of adds a little bit to the story, huh? You know, we now know that the video is not current. It's from 5 years ago. But 5 years ago, we got Snoop railing against this shutdown when this shutdown was for him and his progeny and his people and all American citizens in general for the continuation and safety and just the mere continuation of America. That's what that shutdown was for, man. It was for you. And I mean, now I guess we're kind of seeing a whole bunch of that mess, people flipping. Eric Adams now, Democrat mayor of New York, out here saying, yeah, this is too much. This is a crisis with this migrant stuff. They call them migrants. Illegal aliens. And so he was railing against that. I wonder what he thinks now. You know what I mean? 5 years ago. This is actually a 5-year-old video. I know that Ian Yeager using deceptive practices to make content and engagement. So I wonder what Snoop really thinks now. It'd be interesting. 5 years later. You know, he was outspoken about Trump before, but Nothing lately. It's currently unclear whether this video really reflects his current opinion. This was 2019. It's been some time since then, right? J6. Oh, elections, da-da-da. But election misinfo and Trump trying to destroy the union and this guy doesn't care. Maybe Snoop still thinks that. But also Biden, border mess, all sorts of stuff. Because he has to have grown up a little by now, right? He grew up a little bit, right? But this was picked up by outlets. Newsweek had to debunk it. And apparently I had to debunk it too. Misinformation, emotion. You know what the real PSYOP is here, though? The real PSYOP, it's the hate. It's the hate. Yeah, be better. It's the hate. But for real, you're seeing people just take sides, get ready to fight. They pick up their arms. There's like, but wait, what do you mean he's doesn't care? He cares about the country, but J6. But what about you don't know about J6? What about mail-in ballots? What about bellwether state anomalies? Snoop Dogg, blah blah blah. Get right in the comments. Get in there. He doesn't know. But the big trick is that whole impulse. That whole impulse. That's the huge trick. That's the PSYOP. That's the huge trick. That impulse in the first place. And so that's really what, at least, you know, I was going to say what Bond is about, but you know what this show is kind of about a little bit. Yeah. That's the real trick. Getting all caught up in the whole thing. It's a big old trick. Bunch of liberals anyways. They don't know what they're really saying. They don't know what they're saying. People don't know what they're talking about. Oh, a bunch of liberals anyways. Seems like all the bands or whatever I used to be into ended up being a bunch of liberals. I was never really into Snoop Dogg, but he did that video where they assassinate Trump in that music video with that, I believe they're Canadian. That little jazz, kind of modern jazz fusion. Yeah, Canadian jazz fusion little band trio. Bad, Bad, Not Good. Bad, Bad, Not Good collaborated with Snoop Dogg to make that music video. And so I guess they're just a bunch of liberals too. And Canada's a mess too. Bunch of liberals out here pretend mock assassinating Trump. And these guys, they're like really good, you know, bunch of like University of Toronto jazz students. So yeah, whatever, a little stuffy and a little, I wouldn't call jazz stuffy, but a little, it might be to some, especially the school jazz, but you know, look at him with the stank face going on for the viewers, for the listeners. We're watching footage of Bad, Bad, Not Good, who had collaborated with Snoop Dogg. You know, when you see someone do this is called a stank face, okay? This is your stank face, okay? And that is when you're hearing particularly dirty and gnarly. That means good, by the way, that means good. But when them licks, meaning melodies and music that you play, snippets of music, when you're hitting them licks, when you're tickling them ivories with such mastery that your face curls into an indescribable expression of both, that's a cross between a wince of pain and a furrowed face of, I want to say, ecstasy. Pardon, I know it's just 12 o'clock. But this is a stank face. And if you ever see someone doing a stank face while tickling white keys on a piano, and that piano is red, or a keyboard that's red, and it has the letters N-O-R-D, oh, you know it's going down. You know it's going down. If they have this expression and the letters N-O-R-D on a red keyboard, I'll tell you right now, it's going down. I promise you, it's going down. So these bunch of liberal Canadians, worry about your own country. I mean, it's weird to say that for me. Worry about your own country. There's conflicting emotions here, but hey, that's a story for another time. My core viewers know what I'm talking about. Anyways, that's bad, not good. Bunch of liberals. Working with the liberals, doing their stank face as their country goes to arse. Okay, Snoop Dogg, where was I? Yeah, let me get to some calls here. Nice segue into Canada. We'll get into this in a moment here. Canada honors some Nazis, apparently. But I've been reading about Nazis, and there's like just a couple of, there's like levels to what's going on here. And I've talked about Canada recently. They got some issues going on. We might need to get some boots on the ground. But first, let's talk to Brian out of North Carolina. Sir, you're on the air.
What's going on, Nick?
All is well, Brian.
How you doing?
Thank you, man.
Right on, man. Right on. Listen, man, that would have been really funny if that video was real. Because the timing of that beat right after he called everybody stupid MFers was perfect.
Yeah, it really was. Oh, man, I laughed hard. I laughed hard when I heard that.
Oh, man, I was so ready to go in, too. You're absolutely right. You got me.
No, yeah, I was there with you. I was like, this stupid. No.
You know what's funny though, man, is like you said at the end, you said, I wonder what Snoop Dogg thinks now 5 years later.
Right.
And you know what, man, I don't really wonder too much about that because Snoop Dogg, for as long as I've been knowing him, has been getting paid to be ignorant. You know what I mean?
Right.
He's always the face that they give because black people know him, and a lot of other people who aren't black know him. But it's really odd how they use him for stuff nowadays. It's like the people who are younger, they don't really mess with Snoop Dogg like that.
Right.
Like they're not up on Snoop Dogg. So it's like they're like he's the tool that they use for everybody from the early millennials and before that. He's like the mouthpiece for them.
That is,
I highly doubt.
I'm with you, man. That's getting closer. I said I'm with you, and that's getting. You're using better words to describe this thing that I'm having trouble describing. That Hassan alluded to. Snoop Dogg being a cartoon, this icon of a person, not really his original name anymore, but just like a conduit of something, a mouthpiece. We're getting closer. Yep. We're getting closer. So I thank you, sir.
Yeah, 100%, man. And I mean, even in that video, he literally, well, not 100%, but he almost repeated the same thing that Joe Biden was telling you.
Yep.
Telling black people.
Script.
Verbatim. And it's just pure ignorance. Like, how can you be that old and be that ignorant?
Yeah, you're either evil or dumb, but I don't know anymore. You know, he may not be aware of what he's doing, but the point is, you're making a really good point. Yeah, he's just
well,
he definitely serves a cultural political purpose.
I think it's both evil and dumb, man, because the thing when you're getting paid to believe something like, but he can't see that. He can't see. Maybe he can. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Which would where the evilness would come in, right? Like, oh, you see it and then you choose to continue doing it. But the way that he speaks is like he really believes it. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So
he's definitely, if he doesn't, then he's definitely one of their best assets.
Right.
Yeah, and I personally think, let's say you're Snoop. Let's say you're Snoop, and you're like, okay, they're paying me to just support Biden, and it's not really what I'm about, but I'm just gonna do it to get paid, and I know it's wrong, so I don't even know if that means what we think it means. Like, oh, that he's sold his soul to the devil. You know what I mean? Like, he probably still sees that as love. Okay, well, no, the world's going to hell in a handbasket anyways. I got to watch out for me and mine. I'm being a loving father or something, right? It's just, people, I don't think people know. If people knew what evil was and what they were doing, then I think that's what changes you. But anyways.
Well, that love for money is evil for sure. That'll cloud anything. That's usually, and a lot of black people, man, a lot of normal black people that I know, if you ask them if they want to do something, or you ask, you're propositioning them to do a job or something, or to, just affiliate themselves with something. The first question is how much they paying, what that check looking like. It's always the first question, which I understand, money is a part of the stuff, but it should not be to that point. It's like, it's all about the money unless it's involved with somebody that I hate, and then I'm just not going to do it.
Mm-hmm.
But if you offer me enough money, maybe I will.
Mama raised
what's
me.
What's that check looking like?
Right. For that dollar incentive.
And Snoop Dogg up here looking like everybody black mama.
Why's your hair all tied up like that?
It's so weird, man. But I'm gonna change subjects real quick if that's okay, and then get off the phone. That the female that was the first non-kicker on the football team.
I kind of remember what you're talking about. You're saying there was some woman who first woman to play on a men's team as a kicker or something.
She's not a kicker. She's the first woman to play on the team, and she's not a kicker.
Oh, this is a first.
It's weird, right? So, besides the fact that there's a woman playing football, she's not kicking. I was sitting there watching a clip with a friend, and my friend was like, she brought a good question. She said, like, where is she gonna get dressed?
What?
She's not gonna share the locker room with them. She's not gonna hear the locker room game prep speech.
Well, is that clear? Maybe they're just like throwing everything out the window. They're like, no, she'll be there. She's one of the boys.
We got her jock strap and everything, bro. She's good to go.
Yeah. Wait, what? I'm just hearing about this. 𝒏𝒊𝒄𝒌𝒔𝒕𝒓𝒆𝒂𝒎 makes history as first woman to play safety in NCAA football game. This is a first. What the? We might have to do some
live.
Wait, they
said what position she's playing?
Safety. Small Division III.
She's playing.
Hold on. First female non-kicker. What did you say? What did you ask me?
Well, I'm adding it up in my mind. She's playing a defensive position. Who's coaching?
We're gonna have to do some live research here, and get the story of 𝒏𝒊𝒄𝒌𝒔𝒕𝒓𝒆𝒂𝒎 a little straight here. Thank you for the topic there, Brian.
Well,
anything you know about it? Anything you want to say about it?
Yeah, it's clear. The world hates women.
Yeah.
It's just so weird how the world hates women.
Yes.
And then, why would you want that on your team? I mean, it reminds me of the military, right? The military is supposed to be about defense.
Okay.
Our defense. Why would you want to put women up on your defense line? Why would you want to put a woman as your last line of defense on defense in a football game?
Right. These groups, these lines of demarcation we drew between the men and women in these sports and different events and whatever. It's like a tradition that rose out of like necessity. We already went through the motions. We already did the research. We already tried, and it turns out that it's actually what's it called? It's like negative to put the women on with the men because they get dominated, and these women want to compete and actually compete fairly. So they decided we'll compete with each other. And then somewhere along the way, humanity forgot these traditions and are like, well, let's just put them together. So they'll just have to learn the lesson again. They'll have to learn the lesson again.
Why aren't the men asking themselves, the men that are playing, like, are we not competing? Like, are we even competing to where the point women feel like they see us competing and they feel like they can come do this? Because football back in the day, no woman would have ever thought to get on the field.
Right.
So are they even competing today? Are we even playing football? If you can allow a woman to play safety, who is she going to take down?
Right, because that's
at safety.
Yeah, that's a really good point. I mean, standards have to have come down, or this is a total just PR move, and they're planning on losing every game, or so. I don't know. The point is, it's like the thing that made it clear was physical and in your face. You can't run as fast. You can't. And so this seems like a clear denial of that, but I want to get into some of these news reports here and see what they're. It's looking like.
Okay, bro.
It's looking like she did a defensive snap that's some are calling very sad. So we're gonna watch this here.
You said very sad. They called it.
They're calling this defensive snap very sad. So she may not be She may not be good at what she's doing. We'll see how she's performing. All right, man. Well,
I'm gonna have to watch it.
Yeah, we'll move the wheels here and get into that.
All right, take care, Nick.
Thank you, Brian. Call me again. Haley Van Voorhis. A year ago, Fox reported on her making history as the first woman on a football team at Shenandoah University. Shenandoah University. Subverting the male-female order. But this report here from ABC, just from the 25th of this month, today, is talking about Van Voorhis, who got in action in an NCAA football game. Interesting. Let's see if we can watch some of this. They got the ladies playing football for realsies this time. Imagine that. Who'd have thunk it?
We're back 7:38 with some inspiring history that was.
Oh, no. This is why you don't do live. This is like a Nick Stream Friday thing. We're doing this. We're doing it live. So it's a USA Today video, and they're going to do this whole woman reporting thing on it. Okay, we'll watch some of it.
College football over this weekend.
Yeah, for the first time ever, a woman played in an NCAA game at a position that was not kicker. Her name is Haley Van Voorhis, and we cannot wait to talk to her. But first, NBC's Kaylee Hartung has her amazing story. Kaylee, good morning.
Hey, good morning, guys. So after more than 2 years on her college football team without seeing any game action, Haley told me she felt like she was in a movie when she stepped on the field Saturday. Her team needed to stop on third down, and Haley ran right for the quarterback, getting her Hollywood ending to the play.
Right on.
Who runs the field?
What's the energy to this reporting here?
This girl.
It feels a little bit like the energy behind this reporting feels a little bit like gold star for you. You go, but she's supposed to be like being serious, right?
Saw some history made here today.
Shenandoah University's Haley Van Voorhis making history as the first woman to take the field, not as a kicker, in an NCAA football game.
It's not every day that a female gets to play college football, so the sideline was going crazy. It was just a great moment.
Is this tomboy or is she tomboyish?
And
the way she's speaking like a bro.
I was going crazy. It was just a great moment.
And she made her presence known. The 5'6" safety came into the game with Division III Shenandoah up 26 points against Juniata College.
Look at that arm. She's deezed. Wait. Haley Van. There's no transgender stuff going on here, is there? Yo, what the heck? She's deezed. Wait, I gotta show you pictures. Deezed means, deezed is, I guess you could say like on GTA slang, Greater Toronto Area slang for, look at these guns. Yo, someone get like a full screening on her. Can we get a full screening on the body toxicology here? No reason. What the? Are those her abs? No, wait. Hold on, y'all. Hold on. Because I've watched enough More Plates, More Dates, who's a fitness guy on YouTube, to know that those looked like, it looked like really developed abdominals. But like huge, you know how they like when they pop out? Girls don't really get that, do they? Or maybe it's just the clothes. Maybe I don't know what I'm talking about. But impressive physique. What the fuck? I mean, what? Sorry, y'all. That was my bad. Okay. So Van Voorhis doing work, putting in work, got the guns. I was just reacting. We're just reactionary right now. Sorry.
Came
Let's get into
the game
this. No, it's natty. It's natty.
Division III Shenandoah. 20 known. The 5'6" safety came into the game with Division III Shenandoah up 26 points against Juniata College, registering a quarterback hurry on the way to a Shenandoah win.
Did that quarterback know what or who hit him? I've had some people come up to after the game until I take my helmet off. They're like, dude, I didn't know you were even a girl.
Growing up in the Plains, Virginia, Haley's been going up against the boys for a long time. First in baseball, then at 10 years old when she started playing flag.
Late hit? People are saying late hit. Some people, oh, okay, she's moving like, okay, late hit. Someone explain this one to me, y'all. Someone who knows American football. Don't you know I'm an anchor baby? I only know football. Roughing the passer. Someone explain this to me. Is this bad? Is this bad? Is this an affirmative action win? She took 3 steps after he threw the ball. Wait, hold. So is this an affirmative action? Are they giving her an affirmative action win here? Or is this totally clean?
No.
Because like I was talking about with Brian, the whole point of this men and women being separated was completely clear lines that men just outperformed women. It's physical. It's in your face. It's clear. So if a woman could perform at the man's level and do that like, you know, pretty consistently, I mean, I would still say you keep them apart for a reason I'm about to tell you. But, you know, you can start understanding how the reasoning behind separating men and women's sports starts becoming a little flimsy. Well, if you got a whole bunch of women that can perform and even outperform men, well, then where's the justification? And so that's an interesting point that Brian brought up. Are we seeing these lowering of standards for men? Because, like I said, it was clear before. Just look at just records between men and women. It's clear men just outperform. Well, I'm about to play it again, and you guys football heads in the chat will be able to tell me. But I've just gotta get these thoughts out. Lowering of standards. So yeah, we got weak. The boys are weak. Is that what's going on here?
Not every day that a female
so we're playing it again.
Play college football, so you know.
But right, so you got everything I just said. But now I'm also wondering, on top of that, is this an affirmative action point that they're giving her? Because some of you in the chat are a little incredulous at this play that they are praising this Van Voorhis for.
The sideline was going crazy. It was just a great moment.
And she made her presence known. The 5'6" safety came into the game with Division III Shenandoah up 26 points against Juniata College, registering a quarterback hurry on the way to a Shenandoah win.
Did that quarterback know what or who hit him? I've had some people come up to after the game until I take my helmet off. They're like, dude, I didn't know you were even a girl.
Growing up in the Plains, Virginia, Haley's been going up against the boys for a long time. First in baseball, then at 10 years old when she started playing flag football, later becoming the first girl to play.
She probably is a tough girl, you know what I mean? Like those tough girls that grew up with boys and their brothers and dad and just, I don't know, that's nice. Like, look, went to some area or school called Christ Church. I don't know, that probably doesn't mean anything nowadays, but still. Isn't that nice? Like tomboys, these girls, they seem to have a better head on their shoulders when they're like this, right? They grew up with the boys and they had good brothers who protected them, but they kept them tough. You know what I mean?
Play on her high school when she
nice
started
girl.
playing flag football, later becoming the first girl to play on her high school's football team.
Did it take any convincing?
So she was always a communist actor? She was always being used as a pawn for communism to subvert the order of man over woman, woman over children? So she was also the first girl on her men's high school team, or were standards always low? See, it's like we can't even know. We can't even know. What angle is the psyop being played here?
Convincing your parents to let you play a game with a bunch of boys? As long as I was happy and did what I love, they were all for it.
With a fierce...
Evil parents. Her putting their kids' ego and their own ego above the order of God.
Competitive spirit, Haley prides herself on giving maximum effort through her intense weightlifting sessions in the gym and every practice rep on the field.
I do think my mindset's one
Let's
of my
go.
strong-
Heisman. Nice job. Looking athletic. Looking like she puts good work in. Hard worker. Very good.
capabilities alongside
That Protestant work ethic, or I don't know what you guys call it. Anglo work ethic.
Just
I like
rep on
it.
the field.
I do think my mindset's one of my strongest capabilities alongside my speed and my strength. Just
Speed
my
move.
ability to push myself past where I think I can go has helped me a lot.
She also runs track and field for Shenandoah, and she's dead set on running through barriers for women in sports.
So to be able
What? Just do your best. Why do you got to be all like communist about it? Like I'm not just playing football and doing my best. I also have it in my head that I'm going to change the world and break glass ceilings and further plunge the country into disarray and confusion.
able to make a step forward is like an amazing thing, like to create new opportunities along the way and show that like, hey,
Like if you were this girl, like let's say you were just doing so well that you were actually starting to beat the boys. Right on. Work hard, keep it going, but don't get this in your head. Just be an example and and have the boys start examining themselves, going like, wait, when you take off your helmet and you got pushed over by a girl, you go like, wait a second, and have the boys examine themselves and be an example and do your best. But don't let them use you and you start repeating these things about breaking barriers, okay? No, you should be. It would be nice if she was out here saying, if she went on this interview and said, well, no, it's not about breaking barriers. I'm not here doing that. I'm just playing football, and I'm pushing some of these boys over. Hey, fellas, time to lift a little harder and stop being betas. Stop being beta. That would have been nice, huh?
this can be done.
For now, she's just focused on the next play.
Next time we need to get.
Okay, this little attack here. Okay, then we'll move on. Okay, we're doing live research on this topic. Brian out of North Carolina brought it to us. Thank you. And I do see your calls 888-775-3773. I too am captivated by the story. I will get to my calls here, but this looks like a dinky little. I don't know my football. I know my football. Someone's got to help me out with this, okay? But this looks like a dinky little. Does this look dinky to you? This looks dinky to me.
She's just focused on the next play.
Next time we need to get
this looks a little dinky. What kind of is that? What was that?
Now she's just focused on the next play.
Next time we need
and
to
then like pulls him down. Like, am I wrong here? I'm not trying to be a little like, ooh. Alpha, it's alpha. We're alphas, and this is beta, and I'm gonna be a tough. Like, I'm not even trying to be anything, y'all. But that looks dinky to me.
Be done.
For now, she's just focused on the next play.
For the ones who will be listening, we're watching Van Voorhees' tackle at this NCAA game.
Next time we need to get the sack.
All right, let me see what you guys are saying in the chat. Let me get to my call here. Could anyone explain that one to me? Some of you were saying interference, like roughing the passer. Play it again, Nick. Fluff it up for this. If that hit came from a big dude, it would be a penalty and not televised or celebrated. LMAO, says American Native. What's up, American Native? They put her in at the end of the game. He gave her the chance to drag him down. That was a weak A hit. Heisman. Quick, Heisman. He took a dive. All right, y'all. Let me get to a caller who wants to talk about this. Nathan, Illinois, you're on the air.
Hey, Nick. How are you, buddy?
All is well, Nathan. How have you been?
I've been well.
Nice.
I just want to chime in. Like, you ever had to like fight in a dream?
Fight in a dream?
Yeah. Like
Yes.
when you try to punch in a dream and it's just like you can't.
A punch in a dream? No. In fact, you're reminding me that I remember my first ever nightmare ever.
Right.
I
So,
remember.
Like, I
it.
don't know.
And in that first ever nightmare, I punched my assailant.
Yeah.
And I woke
For
up
me, it's always been
victorious.
When I try and fight in a dream.
Say again?
I'm like unable. Whenever I try and fight in a dream, like I can't. Like they're like slow, soft punches. So, like, I've talked to other people about that. They said they've had that. And then, so that's just kind of what seeing her, like, running at the quarterback kind of looked like.
Yeah.
Like, it just reminded me of being in a dream and, like, not being able to.
I think I know the sensation almost. It's like the feeling of not being able to grip anything.
Yeah.
And it's like, I have no strength.
Right. Yeah.
No, but I remember punching my first assailant in a nightmare. It was a witch. It was a big old witch. Suddenly the house turned all stretched out like a funhouse mirror. This witch came through, and I remember this clearly. She was green, had a big old nose. I punched that nose and I woke up victorious.
Perfect.
So, anyways, yeah. So I saw this video just like you, just a moment ago. It looked the same to me, like you're saying. It looked very weak. What do you think about it?
Yeah, dude, I don't know, man. That's D3, and she's in at the end of the game. And the chat's pretty valid with that, saying, like, it would be, like, in the NFL, if you hit the quarterback that late, you get a 15-yard penalty, and it's no good. You probably get taken out of the game a few snaps. So,
Gotcha. You said and you called it what, snap?
Like, snaps, like, plays. You'd be out of the game a few plays. The coaches wouldn't be too happy with you.
Gotcha, because the ball had already left his hand, is what you're saying.
Exactly. Yeah.
And so that would be, is that also what people are in the chat saying, calling roughing the passer?
Exactly.
Gotcha. So that would have been like, in some eyes, at least for some, it's at least contendable. Yeah.
Right.
As a penalty. Yeah. Interesting. I mean, there's people in the chat who instantly, as soon as that moment happened, people were instantly calling it, what's it called? Roughing the passer. And I know some of the, like all the footage I've seen for soccer, I know some of you guys watch a whole bunch of footage and you guys know when you see something. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, exactly. Like, you could look up, like, a YouTube compilation of just quarterbacks just getting smashed by, like, actual competent football players.
Mm-hmm. Interesting. So in your estimation, this was an affirmative action call?
Yeah.
Dang.
On the topic of affirmative action in football, Colorado just got smashed with Deion Sanders at the helm, head coaching. I don't know if Fredericks is listening out there, but it's not like he made it out. He called it like last week or something. He's talking about how there aren't enough black coaches. It's like, man, there's so many black coaches out there. Like, he's just not looking at what's actually going on the sidelines. Like,
I remember that call.
And, like, it's just like a black coach doesn't perform well, they get fired just the same as a white coach doesn't perform well. Like, I don't know what the whole disgruntlement is about.
Yeah, he did he did allude to something about not being enough black coaches and him being happy to see more. Basically, kind of alluding to the lack of black coaches not being due to any sort of natural causes, but more out of we're now entering assuming world because, you know, just to be fair here, he didn't say that, but yeah, racism or whatever.
Right. Yeah. But I just wanted to chime in.
Yeah. Well, interesting, man. Thank you for that.
Is just like, I don't know. I don't like the way he coaches, man. He's just like, he's very egotistical the way. I don't know if you tuned in, but
I heard something about him being a Christian and him getting some like backlash for being outspoken about that. But I don't know. I haven't been following. No, I'm just hearing about it now. I Googled it. Looks like he lost. Looks like his team lost.
They lost, like, they got
like a really important game.
Yeah, and then they're like in one of the best conferences in football, so it's going to keep coming. They're playing actual legit teams with good coaches.
Gotcha.
And they don't just have nepotism running rampant.
What conference are they in?
Pac-12. There's
Gotcha.
like 8 top 25 teams.
Gotcha. So they don't got it's not just easy. It's not an easy ride to, I forget the name, but I guess Super Bowl or something like that, huh?
Yeah, not in that.
See, I know a little something. Very interesting, man. Thank you for that. Bring a little bit of fleshing it out, the story here for us. I appreciate that, Nathan. Anything last thing you want to say before we move the wheels?
One quick thing.
By all means.
Talk to you about this. It's off a different tangent, but like people always talk about like playing God, and I think there's like two ways of that being like that. The meaning behind it, like you could be playing God by like kind of manipulating him, trying to beat him, and then there's another way where shoot. I don't know.
Can you give me an example of, you said playing God as in being him or manipulating him. Can you give me an example of being God and manipulating God?
So, like, you're, like, acting as if your God is one. And then on the other hand, it would be, like, playing him, like, manipulating him. I kind of got mixed up. So there's, like,
Understood. Playing him as a role or trying to trick someone, like, I played you.
Yeah, exactly.
Can you give me an example of either of those?
I don't know. I mean, playing God would be like judging.
Mm-hmm.
And, yeah, that's not too fresh on my mind and heart right now.
Can I give you an example? Ooh, I just thought of one.
Let's hear it.
Thinking you know what your dreams mean.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't really like to get caught. Like, people like talk about like making their dreams reality, especially so much now. It's like I prefer making what is real instead of dreams.
Yep.
But yeah, that's all I got, man.
Well, thank you, man. Yeah, because I wouldn't know what that would mean. Fighting, being weak in the. There's the story of the king. I forget. There's some story of this king who had a dream that all his teeth fell out. You know that one?
No.
Oh, I think it's supposed to be some lesson. Because, but anyways, I'll see if I remember, man. Appreciate your call, Nathan. You say that again?
I've heard people say if you lose your teeth in your dream, it means like something bad is gonna happen.
Oh no!
Like that. I don't know. I don't get into all that.
Nice, man. Well, right on. Thank you for your call, Nathan.
Thank you. Bye.
Moving the wheels. Harmony says, got him. Teeth falling out is fear of acceptance. I had the same dream all the time, too many for many years, says Matthew. Some people relate. Thank you, Matthew, saying I had a great show on Friday. I saw you in the chat, Matthew. Thank you. Dreams are a representation of the subconscious. I don't even think so. What's the subconscious then, Zeus? No, the king in that story, I believe the story goes that there was once a king, and he had a dream that all of his teeth fell out. And so he called on the people of the land for a dream interpreter. And a dream interpreter came to the palace and told the king what his dream meant. It meant that all of his family members would die, but he would survive. And so the king put that dream interpreter to death. And he went and found a different dream interpreter. And he found another one, and this dream interpreter told him, the king told him about his dream, about all of his teeth falling out. And the dream interpreter told him, king, what this means is that you will survive all your family members. You will survive them all. And the dream interpreter was not put to death. And I think the lesson is in how you say things, but I don't even know where this story came from. I might have been told this as a kid. And there's supposed to be a lesson in there somewhere. Maybe someone in the chat could tell me what the lesson is in that story. I think it's like how you say things matters, but is the lesson also to be deceptive? I don't understand. Maybe someone can tell me some insight into that one. Huh? All right. What's up, being enlightened till I rise? My channel supporter over there on Rumble. The party's going on Rumble. I see you guys. I know you guys are chilling out. Some of you chatting, some of you not. Dennis 2020, Lily Pooh, Brian RWK, TJ Hilliard, and the Hake Report. Keeping the party going on Rumble. I do appreciate it. And my member supporter there. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. That honestly looks like a girl, says being enlightened till I rise. I definitely believe that. I say let them play, let them learn the difference. Right on. Yeah, I mean, they might have to learn the lesson the hard way. I think the way the humanity learned that lesson was in combat. In the ancient times, in the before times, I believe man learned this lesson by way of combat and violence, and found that the men beat the girls. But this is why Jesse's right too on this whole woman football player thing. Jesse's so right about not caring if men go play in the women's sports. This whole transgender thing, conservatives are out here saying it's horrible. It's a mockery of women and women's sports, and it's a disrespect to women, and these poor women are getting beat up and outran and outpaced by the men who are wearing dresses, playing to be women in sports. I say don't care about that. I'm with Jesse. Women have been trying to get into men's stuff for a long time now. And I understand it a little bit on the whole, well, if you can perform the same or even better than a man. But even if that were so, God's order still exists. Have some respect. God's order still exists. Have some decency and respect. Okay? So yeah, let these transgenders be in the women's sports, honestly. Because when I look at this, what is it? These female UFC fighters, and they'll like win. And for some reason, it's a bloody sport, and the guys get all touched up and beat up too, and they don't look good, okay? But for some reason, these female UFC fighters, they come out after their matches looking like it's carnage what these women's faces look like afterwards. I don't know what it is. I don't know if they just can't take the woman's face just isn't meant to take a beating or something, but they look gnarly after these wins. They call it a win, right? They'll be raising their hands in this victorious moment, and then she's just bloodied like I've never seen a man's UFC, like not usually at least. And I'm like looking at this, I'm like, this is a win. This is victory. And I understand that particular female UFC fighter in the case I'm talking about, it's this one. Some of you might know the name better than I, but I understand they probably put in a lot of work. I'm not discounting any of that. They probably put in a whole bunch of work to get there and finally get the win. But then they're raising their head, and I'm supposed to look at this and go like, this is a win for us? This is a win for us at large? I believe this is what she's normally looks like. I forget. Anyways, this is what she normally looks like, and this was her after. Like, that's crazy. This is not a victory. This is not a win. Not in my books. All right, good work. I understand the work you put in, but this is a failure. This is a grand failure of society. I prefer to watch hood women fight, says Raymond. Yeah. I wouldn't call that a victory. Where was I? Let's get into the Nazis in Canada. I think you might find this one interesting, but before we do, let's do Justin out of Fullerton, California. You're on the air, sir. Thank you for your call.
Oh, hi. Thanks for having me. Yeah, I just was thinking about the reason that people don't turn away from their evil is like from the Bible and Proverbs. It talks about how the reason that people don't have their dreams come true is because they don't turn away from their evil ways.
Okay, can you expand on that? Help me understand what you're saying here. You believe people's dreams, the reason they don't come true is because they're still evil. They don't deserve it, I guess. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, exactly. In Proverbs 13, it says, even after that scripture, it says, but fools detest from turning from evil, walk with the wise and become wise, for a companion of fools suffers harm.
And so fools, Proverbs 13, fools detest turning from evil, walking with the wise and become wise, walk with the wise and become wise, for a comparison of fools suffers harm. And to you, that describes why people who have their wishes and dreams that they don't come true, it's for this reason here?
Yeah, earlier you were discussing about dreams and how, they can come on where it's either lucid or you're aware of it or, something. I personally don't remember a lot of my dreams, but from the Word of God, I believe it comes from the Bible. So it's in Proverbs, 13, verse 9. It says, it's pleasant to see dreams come true, but fools refuse to turn from their evil to attain them. Walk with the wise, become wise, associate with fools, and get in trouble.
And what does it say? Pleasant for dreams to come true, to become true.
In the New Living Translation, it says, it is, on verse 9, it says, it is pleasant to see dreams come true, comma, but fools refuse to turn from the evil to attain them.
I see it. Okay. Fascinating, fascinating. I'm following you. And so in the context of the conversation I was having with Nathan, he was talking about dreams when he's asleep. Are you also saying those are the same dreams that are supposed to come true? Should you turn away from evil?
Yes. And it talks in other parts of the Bible how, I don't know exactly where, but how when there's a lot of thoughts and they weigh heavy on the mind, that's when dreams come about. So it could be something sweet, like a fulfillment that you really long for, but somebody who is foolish that does not detest evil will never see that come into fruition, reality.
I'm following. But you're saying it's the dreams we have when we're asleep. Every dream that you've had while you're asleep, you wanted it to come true?
Right, because consciously...
No, I'm asking you. I'm asking you. Every dream you've ever had while sleeping, you wanted it to come true?
Every dream I had when I went to sleep, I definitely wanted it to be real.
Even like bad ones or nightmares or weird ones or strange things that don't seem to make sense?
No, not dreams that are scary like nightmares, no, but just normal dreams.
Or what about
like the ones
strange ones that don't make sense?
Yeah, the strange ones that don't make sense are great too, like flying, being able to run super fast, to evade.
And you're saying those things are supposed to come true if you turn away from evil, flying and running super fast?
No.
Gotcha.
That's not the same type of dream that I'm talking about, that I take from...
So you're talking about the things you want and desire and dream of.
A longing that is finally fulfilled. That's how I take it. Yeah. It's very sweet to the soul.
Because I'm trying to follow your logic here, right? I'm trying to be clear here. You're not talking about, so you're not even talking about particular events, desires, particular things. You're talking about a general fulfillment?
Yeah, the Bible says in that New Living Translation, it's pleasant to see dreams come true, but fools refuse to turn from their evil to attain them.
I remember, and you already told me the verse, but I'm trying to follow your understanding of it here. And you tried to tell me, and you're telling me that verse to you means that your dreams are supposed to come true, if I'm following you, right? That you're supposed to...
Yes.
And so I'm trying to understand your understanding of dreams. And it was the dreams you had while you were asleep. But you didn't mean that. You meant your desires in life of success. Now you're saying success and victory. So
they don't go away when you sleep and you dream. They don't go away. They manifest. So when you wake up, you're clear-headed, ready to go and execute those dreams because you're faithful, you're confident. It's something you might have slept 8 hours on. I don't know.
And how do you know that you're describing these desires, dreams, victories, successes that you're supposed to have when you turn away from evil? How do you know that those are your, how did you arrive to that? How do you know those are your desires and those are the things you want? How do you know that?
Well, the Bible, the Word of God says that you're a fool, so I know that to be true. That you're a fool. You're very foolish if you're not detesting evil. So if you don't turn from it, and you're just literally looking at the Word, what it's speaking today. I mean, you can see it as what it says about there's someone who longs to have a dream fulfilled, but they're foolish because they don't turn from their sin. It could be lying, cheating, stealing, whatever. But hypocrisy from Snoop Dogg. He's a super hypocritical individual, even says to ban guns, and yet his own life is filled with pointing a gun at a president. Right. And so you can't live like a duplicit mind. You have to have righteousness, and then therefore those dreams of yours will come into reality. You don't have to.
Right. But I'm trying to get back to the conclusion you've arrived at with this Proverbs 13. And it sounds to me like the conclusion is that your desires will be fulfilled should you turn away from evil. Okay?
Correct.
And these same desires, you're connecting it to dreams that Nathan was talking about when he was sleeping, and these desires that we get. And I'm trying to find out the exact moment you knew those are your desires, and how you know that.
Something that I really want, I know if it's really what I want to attain, is my desire. It's nothing that I would have to doubt about. I would definitely know, because it's something I've been wanting, or
because
wishing or dreaming of.
Because it's something you dreamt about when you slept?
Yes, those things that you are awake when you sleep don't go away. They just manifest in a different way.
But they do go away once you stop thinking about them. That's why that's why when you don't remember them, nothing even happens. You don't have any feelings. When you don't remember your dreams, you literally just don't remember them. You have no desires. You have no, if it was a nightmare, you don't have any negative feelings. You literally just don't remember.
So you could say, like, I would say essentially, if you don't dream well into the future of things that you long for to succeed and fulfill, and you're basically full of a lot of evil. And if the less evil you have, like, declutters all that evil, and you can see clearly and not have clutter because of evil, it's like a windshield wiper. It just kind of like cleans off all the gunk, and you can start to drive straight and see clearly.
And see what clearly?
You can see where you're heading. If that is where you're desiring to go, that you're going in the right direction. But with sin, what it does, it covers, and you can't see it. It's all the dirt and the grime and the bugs and the poop on the car. And people who use a windshield wiper.
Right, but people who believe and listen to their dreams are crazy.
People who dream and listen to their dreams are not crazy.
Yeah, they are. I've never met one who...
people that listen to their dreams, like people like Tesla, or people like SpaceX or Space Force. You know, there's dreams that individuals have, and they come into fruition with reality, and they start to implement them into our everyday, people that, like Thomas Edison, he may have had some type of a thought.
But Elon Musk isn't dreaming. He's doing it for real.
Right. He's not succumbing to his evil. There's not evil there. He's working hard.
Elon Musk may have had a dream of an image or a thought or whatever, but then there's the reality of it. And then there's actually making SpaceX, actually creating PayPal, right?
And that's why he's not a sloth. Yeah, he's making.
I'm talking about the people who interpret and believe their dreams. They're crazy.
The people that interpret it?
Yeah, the people who tell me what their dreams mean. I've never really met one who's making sense and is clear. They're usually, it's usually, oh, that's a nice story, but inside I'm thinking, that sounds crazy. Like all people, let's be real. All people react like that.
Yeah,
they won't tell you. They won't tell you what they're thinking, but they're like, "Oh, he thinks this. He's sounding a little off to me."
Yeah, I don't know why a king, like you mentioned, would even want to.
I'm not talking about you, by the way. But what were you just saying?
Dream interpreted. Like, most people don't talk about their dreams if they even if they remember them. However, if somebody this is what the key thing is that I learned, is to be conscious aware. So I'm consciously aware, so I'm lucid in my dreams. Not that I remember each and every one. I noticed that when I was younger, I could remember them and they kind of just went away. That happens with lots of people.
Understood, man.
Because of the evil. Evil, yeah.
Interesting stuff, man. Thought-provoking, sir. Thank you for that. And bringing a little Bible to the whole situation, too.
Have a good one.
Super cool. Yeah, definitely smoking on it. Justin, last thing you want to say before we move the wheels?
No, you have a great show. Keep it up.
Thank you, sir. Call me again. Das dreams. It's unclear to me, so I'll leave it as an I don't know. But don't you want a clear life? If the dream thing is unclear, why make a decision about something you were seeing in sleep that left you with a feeling when you woke up that either you should do something, think about something, fear something, love something? To me, that's enough of red flags for me not to go down that path. You saw imageries in a sleep state that left you, that you woke up to with feelings of guilt, fear, happiness, love, like you should do something. All signs you should turn the other way. Ignore it. American Anchor Baby, I'm sure we'll read your super eventually. Uh-oh! We got super chats. Y'all, I'm the worst. But we have some super chats, I believe. And I want to thank all my super chatters here. First class super chatters, in fact, today on a Monday show. Moon Cricket Stinks with a super chat. Thank you. Says, women have inferior strength, but men will not treat her like other men. In all physical sports, this is shown. Grab woman wrong and you're done. Exactly. Can we really trust that anything is being done fairly there? Like, we got a man, like, some of those, if we had some of those situations, and it's just fair, man and woman smack into each other, and man wins, it's like, okay, case closed. But can we be fair? Can we be sure? Or for the example, in this example, man and woman smack into each other, woman won. Case closed. But is it really case closed? Is it affirmative action calls, like some people are saying, that should have been a foul? Is it men lowering their own standards, whether consciously or subconsciously, like, ooh, I know we're playing a game, but that's a girl, I'm not going to hit her hard. That's a girl, I need to, you know what I mean? Subconsciously working on you. Are we getting a double-blind test on this whole thing? I very much doubt it. Thank you for that, Moon Cricket Stinks. Appreciate that, really. All right, what are y'all saying in the chat? What are you guys saying before I get to my more callers here? Some more of my callers here. A green witch, ? Asks Karen Williams. Probably referring to my first nightmare I ever had. I really think that was the first nightmare I ever had. I remember remembering that as my first nightmare, but who knows if I'm remembering that correctly. But yes, Karen Williams, that was my first nightmare. Okay. Oh, super chats. Thank you, Sion, with the super chat there. Says, Elon Musk is no angel. Stop buying electric cars. Boycott Hollywood. Boycott NFL. And boycott the NBA. Thank you, Sion. She's ready to give everybody the Bud Light treatment. And I respect that. We might have to purity spiral until we support nothing, and that might be its own issue. And I don't know how smart or how much sense that makes. But you got to appreciate that the Bud Light treatment is actually it seems to be a somewhat threat that has at least some weight to it. You can appreciate that somewhat, right? The Bud Light treatment. You're going to get BDT'd. Oh, wait. BLT'd. Hashtag BLT the NFL. Hashtag BLT the NBA. Hashtag BLT all the things. Bud Light treatment. Okay, where were we? I know I have a caller. I know I said I was doing Canada Nazis, but let's do this caller. I believe they want to talk about dreams. Zeus, Florida, on the air. Thank you, sir.
What's up, Nick? How are you?
All is well. And yourself?
Amazing, actually. Not too bad. Very interesting. I'm going to start with saying I'm crazy. According to you, I'm crazy.
Oh, yeah?
Thing. Yeah. So, So I'm going to get to a little story. And so I missed Friday's show, like the live show. I missed it. But I listened to it on Saturday.
Hey, thank you.
While I was working. I liked the show. It was good. I actually wanted to call and comment. Originally, I wanted to call and comment about some of the callers in the conversation.
Yes.
However, the reason I missed the show was almost not because of a dream, but the story has to do with the dream. So Friday morning, I had a dream, or Friday night, I guess, or Thursday night into Friday morning, I had a dream. And this dream was I was with my brother. We got arrested, and we were cuffed by the cops, and we were waiting. And we waited for a while.
Oh.
eventually the cops uncuffed us, and they let my brother go to the convenience store.
And this is in the dream.
Snacks. This is the dream.
Gotcha.
They uncuffed us, let my brother go to the convenience store and get some snacks, and they sat there and they played games with me. And that was a dream, right?
Gotcha.
And I haven't seen my brother in years. I haven't talked to him. He's got his own issues or whatever. He's back home. So whatever. I had the dream. Whatever. It didn't really mean much to me, right? So I met this chick last week, and she's actually quite pretty. She's my type, blonde, blue eyes, nice body. I met her last week, Friday, around, I would say like 11. No, it might have been like 12 or 1. She came, she knocked on my door, and she's like, "Hey, you want to hang out?" I was like, "Cool." So I hung out with her that night. So I had kind of like a date Friday night.
And when did you have the dream? The night before?
Huh? I had the dream that morning of. So the same day she came by. Yeah. So we're hanging out. We go to the city that's north because where we're at kind of rural. And we're hanging out, whatever. My car starts to have some problems. It starts to overheat a bit. And the thing with it is it's easy. I can fix it. All I got to do is bleed some air out of the engine and then refill it. So I pulled over to the gas station to do this. As I pull over, 2 cops pull right to the side of us. And I'm not happy about cops. Like, trust me, I get nervous about them. But this chick, so she gets all freaked out, and she's like, "Hey," she goes, I got warrants. I skipped my bond." And she told me this as the cops pulled up, and I'm like, "Oh." I was like, "Calm down. It'll be all right." So I get out of my car, I go to my engine, like pop the hood, go to my engine, and do my stuff, right? And the cop saw me and starts talking to me.
What'd you do with your engine? What'd you do?
So essentially, there's like a thing where you can bleed out air if it overheats, and you bleed out the air until it's done, and you refill the water, and it's good.
So you got out of your car?
Yeah, I got out of my car, popped the hood, and the cop saw me because my car is very distinctive. So he made a comment about my car. So I made a joke with him, and we were laughing or whatever, and he went inside, no big issue.
Gotcha.
And,
so the cops
so
weren't stopping you or anything. You just saw there was just police presence, and she made that comment about the warrants.
Yeah, because she freaked out because she had warrants. I wasn't excited either because they're cops or whatever. So I'm doing my thing with the engine, and the cops eventually leave. And so when I was talking to this girl, right, we don't know each other, and I'm asking her, "How old are you?" And she told me 30. And I was like, "Okay, cool, whatever." So I'm doing all this stuff, and I started to think about my dream. And my brother is the same exact way. One time my brother was on the run because he skipped bond.
You're a youngin'.
And I was thinking this.
Right?
Well, I was thinking, right? I was like, this chick has to be the same age as my brother because why else would I have a dream? I started connecting things, right?
I'm following.
So I finished doing my stuff. I jumped in the car, and I told her, "How old are you?" She's like, 30. I go, "Don't lie to me." She goes, "No, I'm 30. I go, "No, you're not. You're 34. You were born in 89. That's the year my brother was born in." And guess what? She's like, "How did you know that?" And I was like, "Just trust me. I know. Go inside the store and get me some snacks." So she went and got me 2 Red Bulls and a candy at Starbucks. She got me a candy. And so the moral of the story is I think the dream was related to that. I don't know. Call me crazy.
That's what you learned?
I didn't learn anything. What I'm saying is I just thought it was an interesting coincidence that this chick was similar to my brother and, like, she's a little crazy. And so after the day, I was like, yeah, I can hang out with this chick. She's just like my brother. She's a criminal. She's all this. And so I feel like the dream was more of a warning.
And so now you're going to marry her.
Mind, she's pretty hot, so it's there, but no.
And so now this is a sign to marry her and be with her and get to know her more.
Well, I hung out with her the rest of the night, and I did get to know her, and it was a very interesting interaction. And at the end of the night, she's like, she basically told me she loved me, and I was like, yeah, I got to get out of here. But that was a red flag. I dipped out. I'm sorry, I couldn't. That's too much for me. But all I'm saying,
aren't you like 20-something?
Sure, why not? I like that. I'll take it.
Oh, my bad. I got the wrong age for you, man. I was thinking of someone else.
I'll take it. A lot of people think I'm 25, so I'll take it. And the funniest thing is,
but she was older than you.
No, she's actually younger than me.
Okay, never mind. Go on.
So the funniest thing is I went down to the community area to work on some stuff on my computer because the internet over there is good. In my trailer, it's trash over here. So I was chilling, listening to the show, and I'm going to call Nick and talk about Saturday's show.
Mm-hmm.
So I was packing up. As I was packing up, guess who walks in?
That girl.
That girl. She walked in, and she walked in with her dog, and she's like, I want to jump into the pool. Can you watch my dog? I was like, no, I got to go. Later. And then she got all hurt. She's like, I'm sorry if I scared you. And I was like, no, you're good. I was leaving anyway. And I booked it. And I don't know. I just thought that was a funny coincidence.
It sounds crazy, man. It sounds like proof
But
why
that's
you
what
shouldn't go around interpreting dreams.
I think I think what it is instead, it was a almost not a warning, but a sign to not worry. Because when I see cops, trust me, I get worried because I got my own issues with them, right? And so
But this is what I mean. You had this dream. This is what I mean. You had this dream, right? And you're telling me this. I have no reason not to believe you. You're telling me you had this dream.
Okay.
And you had this dream, and then you met this girl that day, the next day, or whatever.
Yeah.
And you're telling me this story, and you're adding these parts to the story where you're like, and I personally I have a thing against cops already, and you're already primed from your dream, and I know you're telling me like, wow, what an amazing coincidence, like as if there was something positive about these dreams, but everything you told me is showing me how you were primed. You're saying you're almost making it sound like you were given a warning, a premonition, and there's something positive about how this dream almost sort of predicted this, and it protected you, or something positive about it. But that's, I'm sorry if I'm assuming things here about you, but that's almost what it sounds like when you're telling me the story. But let me tell you a little bit the other side of the coin here. As I'm listening to it, I'm seeing how the dream in fact primed you in ways that you didn't even realize. Primed you about this cop thing.
What does that mean?
Primed you, get you in the mindset, ready to believe, ready to take action for something, ready to believe something that you normally wouldn't have had you not been primed. And you're already primed about this brother thing. You had this brother in the dream, and so now you're like, okay, now this girl's here, and she's kind of like my brother. Wait, you were actually born in '89 or whatever, and now I don't know. Now you're gonna interpret that as its own sign. You know what I mean? This woman loves me. This is a sign that I need to. You know what I mean? And you continue this. You continue this this interpretation
it has
train.
Nothing to do with love, Nick. What it is, and here's the thing. So, again, I had the dream, and this chick wants to hang out, whatever, right? In my mind, I was thinking, okay, maybe I shouldn't go hang out with her because I'm going to get pulled over today. And if I had let the dream prime me, quote unquote, I would have hung out with her. But I was like, you know what? I'm good. God will take care of me. And so I went. And here's the thing: the reason I have my issues with cops, especially in regards to this situation, I don't want to overshare, but I will go ahead and overshare. So I don't personally
dox yourself.
I'm not doxing myself.
Okay.
Here's the thing: I don't personally believe, as a free and sovereign citizen of the world and a son of God, that I should have to do certain things. For example, I shouldn't have to register my car. I shouldn't have to pay insurance, and I don't do that. As a result, my license is expired or revoked.
Don't say that. He's playing around. That's in Minecraft. He's talking about Minecraft.
I'm riding dirty, and so when I saw this cop,
he's talking about Minecraft.
In Minecraft, all that stuff is true. But what I'm saying is so when I saw that, I didn't get worried because I was like, God's got me. I ain't tripping. And then it's funny because I was thinking about that, and I was like, all right, shoot. And then right when I was getting out of the car, this chick starts going off on, I have a warrant and all this stuff. And in my mind, I kind of laughed. I thought that was funny. And to me, all the dream represented is I'm going to be fine because what happened in the dream, I got uncuffed and let go, and I got in snacks. So in the end, I didn't see
You're going to get yourself in trouble, man. You're going to get yourself in trouble going all like, oh, God's got me, these dreams, blah, 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 this girl's so hot. And you're going to land yourself in trouble, and you're going to be like, how did I get here? You're out here riding dirty. You're out here, and of course you're in Minecraft. This is obviously all a joke. This is comedy. Trying to protect my callers here. But you're saying you're out here riding dirty. Some woman with some warrants in your passenger seat telling you she's worried.
I know.
Let's say you had interpreted your dream as, hold on. Let's say, yeah, it is. Hold on. Let's say you had interpreted your dream a certain way, and you got it in your head that, I don't know, cops, they're this way or that way, and you wanted to protect this woman for some reason. And what? Are you going to run from cops because you're a sovereign citizen? Help me understand something here. You're saying you're a sovereign citizen and you don't have to register your car. You don't have to register your car. You don't have to do these things. And you may have a legitimate gripe about that. But you really believe you don't have to do those things?
I do. And here's the thing. You know what the interesting thing is? I called you way back, I think it was December.
Mm-hmm.
And the night I called you, it was around the time when Tyre Nichols got beat up by those black cops. I had called you. It was a former Knicks stream. Look for it.
I do remember this, actually.
Yeah, I called you and said I got pulled over. Guess what? When I got pulled over that time, same thing. I didn't have insurance, registration, nor my license, and I had some weed in the car. Guess what happened? I got let go with my weed. Why is that? Because God protects you so long as you follow his will.
And probably you didn't. And probably you didn't run, and no cop really wants to beat you up and wants to really arrest you for some weed and riding dirty. That's just a ticket, man. You don't need to go to jail and get beat up for that. So you could say that. Look, I understand, man. I know you're saying because God's got you and all that, but you're gonna get yourself in some trouble, man. That's just a ticketable offense, anyways. So it's not a big deal. And then eventually you get your license taken away or blah blah blah. There's escalation on that. So. Yeah, I get it. God's got you. But look, you were obviously not acting up and speaking in a normal way. So that's its own thing. Look, I know you're saying you might have some legitimate gripes about not wanting to go along with the government in this or that way. But that's the way the world is. That's the way this society is built today, right now. And you could choose not to follow those whatever rules and all that. But you also. Don't be surprised when consequences come down, right? How many of these videos have we seen of these people out here claiming sovereign citizen with the cops? You're going to land yourself in some trouble, man.
Here's the thing.
I'm a sovereign citizen, and they escalate with the cops and get themselves into trouble. Is that what you're going to do with the cops?
That's why they get themselves in trouble, though. That's why they get themselves in trouble, because they escalate it with the cops.
But you are escalating by choosing not to go along with society and flouting these rules and laws. That is a radical move in and of itself.
Here's the thing: I live by the will of God, not by the will of some corrupt man who lives who's like a congressman or a senator.
But there's a right way to go about that. There's a right way to go about that and affect change. If you don't believe in that, then. What I believe the other day you called me saying, well, if this or that person wants to have a problem with America, they should leave. Isn't that the same standard? Can I say that to you now?
Did I say that? I may have said that. That sounds like something I might say. But I don't have a problem. I don't have a problem with America.
Yeah.
At all. I love America. That's my country. I stand for it as much as I can. That's why I support Trump. That's why
I understand that.
I do some of the
and I know you're a
do.
decent guy.
But just because I support America doesn't mean I have to obey the rules of corrupt politicians who aren't doing it for the sake of me. They're doing it to make people money. They're doing it because people lobby them and give them bribes. I'm sure I can say that. It's on YouTube if you don't like that. Mm-hmm. They give them bribes so they can take our money, and that's the messed up part about it.
Interesting.
If we as a people just stood up and stopped messing around with this nonsense, we could make a difference. But the problem is everybody's still willing to go along with this stuff. And here's the thing. If it's God's will that I get in trouble for it, then it's God's will. I won't be mad at him.
No, that wouldn't be God doing that. That's not God doing that. Why are you blaming God for that? Everybody want to blame God for everything. If it's God's will that I get in trouble, so you're going to be out here yelling, I'm a sovereign citizen, and then they arrest you, and you'll be like, well, this is just God's will. No, God didn't do that to you.
I'm not going to yell, I'm a sovereign citizen.
I'm being extra. I'm being extra. I don't. It's comedic. I don't mean to be putting that on you, man. I know you're a decent guy. I know you're a decent guy.
No, I appreciate it.
Thank you for that. I know, but let's be accurate here. Sincerely, I've talked to you many times. You're a decent guy. You're not one of these guys in these videos I'm talking about. But you know what I'm saying, man? Like, you're gonna get yourself in trouble and then call it God's will.
I wouldn't run.
That's not God's will, man. You did that to yourself. Or Satan or whatever.
Here's the thing. I'm not blaming God in the situation. What I'm saying, whatever happens to me in my life, whether it be good or bad, is God's will, and I'm just gonna go with it. I'm not gonna look at it as bad or good. I'm gonna just go with it. It's like that one story that Sean told a long time ago, where it's that farmer and stuff happened to him, and people are like, "Oh, that's bad."
Yeah.
Like, who knows? Maybe. It's the same thing with this. If I get pulled over and I go to jail, or whatever, right? Whatever. I accept my punishment. I knew what I was doing. I made actions. Actions have consequences. I'm not gonna sit there and fight the cops. I'm not gonna sit there. I'm just gonna go through the process and see what happens. And whatever God's will is, whether he wants me to rot away in prison, God, I appreciate God enough to be that cool with it.
Well, I'm glad you understand that part, but I'm trying to tell you that rotting, this whole other part you keep adding to it about rotting away in prison and God's will, that's the part. Look, I really do appreciate that because it's like you understand that. Like what's coming, like I chose to do this, great. But you're adding to it. You're like saying, well, if I rot away in prison and it's God's will and so be it. No. Like,
But you know,
you're gonna do that. That's you. Don't put that on God, man. You're doing that to yourself. And he's letting you do it. He's letting you do that to yourself. But you know what I mean?
You know what the beauty of it is, though? I won't rot away in prison because God protects me. God doesn't take care of me either way. And that's why worry about it? Why try to control it? Why not just live each day and let God do God? And whatever happens, I accept God's will. And that's all I've ever preached. That's all I've ever believed.
But that's not God doing. That's not let God do stuff. You're taking it into your own hands. You're like, you know what? I disagree with society, and everybody else has agreed, but I disagree, and I'm taking it into my own hands, and I'm going to take radical action and disobey this or that civic duty or civic law or whatever, which you may have legitimate gripes about, by the way. I want to make that clear.
But disobey who? Man, not God. God doesn't
render unto Caesar what is to Caesar's, right? We're still we're still people. We're still living in this country, right? There's still
the current Caesar tells us that we should allow illegal immigrants to come into our country and take our stuff. That we should allow children to
right, but you're not letting in illegal immigrants. You're not opening the gate. You're just paying your taxes and registering your car.
Is that, like I said, it's part of it, huh? All I'm saying is, again, I trust God, and whatever His will is, I
understand that,
honestly,
and I respect that. By the way,
I live a big long life, and I have nothing but love for God, and I don't know. That's the thing is like whatever God's will is, I accept it, and I'm not going to complain. I'm just going to keep doing me, and He's taking care of me so far, man. Like, and
I respect that. Remember, you were telling me about the hurricane and all that, and I respect that. But this isn't the same. This is a what's it called? What's it called? What do they call it? Something bound to happen. You're just like it's like a setup. It's not like maybe if they come after me, maybe if I get my rights trampled on. No, this is a let me paint a target on me, and eventually this is going to go wrong. You see, it's a little bit different.
That's the thoughts. That's the thoughts telling me this, that something's going to happen. And that's the thing, is if you choose to believe the thought that, yeah, something's going to happen to me and it's going to come back to me, then, yeah, the thoughts have already won. But I'm going to go ahead and choose to reject the thoughts and live by the will of God. And whatever happens is God's will, not the thoughts' will, God's will. And it goes back to
Fair
the
enough,
whole
Zeus.
conscious
I respect your
thing.
position. Sorry, I cut you off while you were saying something. Can you repeat that?
Well, it has to go back to the subconscious and conscious thing. And I don't know if you're familiar with all that stuff, but the conscious mind is what you do, like when you're awake and you're doing stuff, right? So I see a dog, I want to go pet it. That's the conscious mind. The subconscious mind is the things you train into your mind, like the habits, the routines. And so if you choose to be a person that's negative, where you say, oh, all this bad stuff's always going to happen to me, you're training your subconscious mind to accept that. And so I've already talked about this. In relation to quote-unquote magic or the esoteric or the occult, what they believe is the subconscious mind is more powerful than the conscious mind, and that is what enacts this change. And so the whole thing with like rituals is to effect a change in the subconscious to cause reality to shift. And so essentially, if you sit there and you're negative all the time, or you say these bad things are going to happen to me, or I'm going to catch a red light all the time, or anything like that, what you're doing is you're training your subconscious mind to make that happen to you. So a bit of advice to anybody listening, stop being negative, be positive. Forgive your parents, reject anger, and just have a positive mind and watch. Trust me how good things will become in your life. And that's not, all that is God, because God represents the good. And evil is represented by, I guess, the devil, if that's what you guys want to call him.
I understand. I'm following you. I know I don't want to rehash. I'm following what you're saying, man. I respect it. You know what I'm saying, and I understand you.
Yeah. Definitely. Always a pleasure, Nick.
Always. It really is.
Time to talk about Friday's show, because there's a couple things I wanted to say about Friday's show, especially in regards to certain things. But I'll leave it at that because we've already spent enough time.
And I've enjoyed it, Zeus. Call me again. I want to hear what you got to say about Friday's show.
Yeah, I'll call you again.
Thank you, Zeus. Call me again, sincerely. Interesting stuff.
Shout out to
provoking.
Stop being negative. Forgive your mom.
And pay your registration. That way you won't get pulled over.
I did that today, actually. Wink, wink. So
We got the government just said we got him, boys. Right on, Zeus. Call me again, Zeus. Thank you. Okay. Am I buffering? Is my show buffering? I hope I'm not buffering. I'm getting error messages all of a sudden saying I might be buffering. But interesting call with Zeus. Yeah. Don't set yourself up, in my opinion. Buffering. We rolling through Buff City. Dang! How is this happening? How could it be? I have nothing here on this screen. Everything's telling me it's okay here. It's just YouTube telling me not receiving enough video. R.I.P. at Zeus. I mean, you got to respect someone who knows that, hey, this might bring consequences, but I believe in it, so I'm going to go for it. You got to respect that. In my opinion, some things just don't make sense. Slightly buffering. Right. In principle, I agree with him, says Hake. That's why I was saying that he probably has legitimate grievances and gripes with all that. Like, for example, think about how you have to pay taxes on property you already own. So do you really own anything? And then I dare you to not pay those taxes. What happens to your property? It gets taken away. And should you disagree with this, it gets taken away at the end of a gun. It's skipping. Everyone's saying it's skip. Darn. I know. I'm supposed to get to these Nazis in Canada. I don't think is it still? Okay, so I guess the stream just buffers and I just sit here. And I don't receive any. This is just how it goes. I just have to figure it out. Okay. Hold on, y'all. I know, I want an answer as well to this lag. So just hold on while I figure it out, I guess. Did someone get a bill or something? Or somebody? Thank you, sir. Y'all, you're going to have to wait. I can see now on this screen, you probably can't understand what I'm saying, but I can see on this screen there is definitely an issue. So I know it's skipping and buffering. I'm still here, y'all. It's just skipping and buffering. I'm still here. It's just skipping and buffering. I don't know. I'm talking for, if someone can maybe hear me, I'm talking for you. I'm talking to those who might be able to hear me right now. Someone might come and help me. Ah, thank you, Bill. What do you think it is? Yep. Or, I don't know. Hey, y'all, let me know if I've stopped buffering. You let me know, right? Test, 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 test. Coming at you live. Coming at you live. Coming at you live. Monday. They don't want me talking about Canada. You're so right, Frederick. They don't want me talking. They don't want me saying the truth. Excellent connection. I think we're back. They don't want me talking. Thank you, Bill. I'm about to tell you. Sorry, 40 of you. I don't know where you went, but bye. You'll see the recording. I'll see you in the recording wherever 40 of you went. 1, 2, 3, bingo. Are we back, y'all? I think we're back. I'm going to talk to you guys in the last few minutes here of the show. Where was I? Where was I? Evil is still real. Thank you for the Rumble rant there. Lily Pooh, I see your Rumble rant as well. I'm about to get to you. I want to be sure that the stream is going well before I read this out. I don't want to miss it. 1-1 Mexican wave. Okay, guys. I think I'm back. Very cool. Very cool. I think we back. So now where was I? I know we had the caller. I was just in the middle of mentioning something about property taxes and how I essentially, I'm with Hake was saying something about agreeing with Zeus on principle, and that's why I was saying that that he probably has legitimate gripes. YouTube is not receiving enough video. As such, viewers will experience buffering. And I'm buffering again. Oh, I think I'm buffering again. Ooh. Okay. Oh, no. Guys, I'm going to have to tell you about Nazis in Canada tomorrow or something. Birdie Bound man, I want to read your super chats too, but I don't know. I gotta wait. Till I'll just wait. Yeah, it's not saying any cache issues up there, Bill, but everybody here is saying I'm buffering, and it says error. YouTube is not receiving enough video. I know, shadow banning. We're getting shadow banned. We hit Throttle City. Thank you guys, for being patient. I'll get you these Rumble rants and super chats before we close out the show. How about that? We'll just close it out with the super chats and Rumble rants, and we'll leave Nazis in Canada and everything else for tomorrow. Any more calls? We'll just close out with the super chats and the Rumble rants. If you're hearing me. If you're not hearing me, I'll repeat it in case there's those buffering things. We'll just close off with the Rumble rants and super chats, guys. That's the show. I do appreciate it. So those who want to stick around for the Rumble rants and super chats, please do.